Hey everyone, I'm Kandyce.
I'm Latoya.
And I'm Sher'l.
And we are Sisters Unscripted.
Thank you so much for joining us.
We are completely unscripted, where we talk about all the things, all the shit, whatever we want, from the eyes of Black sisters. So stay and kick it with us.
Let's get into it.
All right, guys, welcome to Sisters Unscripted. So today, I want to call it just a special episode. Not really, but I dragged my older sister, Kandyce, along just because I want to have some one-on-one time. I feel my dynamic is just a little bit different when the three of us are together, you know. I play, the younger sister, where I'm really annoying, you know what I mean? And when we are separated, and it's more one-on-one, it's a little bit different, and our dynamic is a little bit different. So I just kind of wanted to deep dive into that a little bit more, and so I can see our personalities more,
A little dynamic.
yeah, more on an individual basis. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Yeah. Let's give a little shout out to Miss Toya, though. We miss you. We love you.
That's true.
We can't wait to see you again for the next episode.
Very true. And you'll also see some one-on-one time with Kandyce and Latoya as well, where you guys just talk about the drama, geeky stuff that I'm not into at all. So I'm excited to not hear about those episodes.
Well, you're going to listen to it, I'm sure.
That's true. Painful ear. I'm just kidding. I support my sisters. So anyway, sister, thanks for coming over.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Yeah, you drove here safely. You got here in one piece.
Yes.
We got some brunch before this.
Yes, we did, and it was good. Had some mimosas.
Yeah.
You had how many?
I only had 3.
Only 3?
I feel like I'm a lightweight.
Yeah, I had 2. I even debated about having the second one, but they were good. I had a watermelon mimosa, and that one was really, really good.
Yeah.
The first one I had was pineapple, and I like pineapple mimosas, but that watermelon one just fire.
Do you feel cool saying fire?
I do.
I'm glad you own it.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, maturity. Maturity. So I want us to go back a little bit. I'm more of the gamer of the sisters. Thank you. I'm more of the gamer of the sisters.
Yep.
And I feel a fond memory of us is when we would play Super Mario Bros. 3.
Okay.
What are your memories of Super Mario Bros. 3?
A lot of late nights. Okay, anyway.
Lovely introduction.
Thank you. I don't know why I do this. I do this a lot.
Same.
Really?
But more when I'm around Black people. You know what I mean? The Black isms. I'll be Black isms when I'm around Black people. You know what I'm saying?
Back to the video games. So honestly, I remember a lot of late nights. I remember we would make those Jiffy blueberry muffins. Do you remember that?
Dude, those were good.
I know. I still love those things. I don't know what it was about those when we were growing up, but they were so good.
It's because they were cheap, but they were good.
They were so flavorful.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The Jiffy blueberry box. Yeah, it was really good. So I remember that. We would make those.
Side note, I had those recently as waffles.
Uh-huh.
They're dry as hell. I don't know what we were thinking, but they are still so good.
I think when you make them into waffles or pancakes, they're drier. But when you make them as muffins, they're just right.
I mean, fair. Keep going.
So, but I remember that. And I remember M&Ms, peanut M&Ms. Or actually, Dad would get a ton of M&Ms, but for whatever reason, peanut M&Ms are standing out to me. Because, we'd have our bowls of M&Ms and we'd be playing, Mario 3 or we'd be playing... We played Mario Kart with Dad too, right? Mm-hmm. Or Diddy Kong Racing, that sort of thing. So, but I remember we had a lot of fun, and I was pretty badass when I was younger at the video games.
And what happened?
It's called I Don't Have Time Anymore. I have 2 children and I have a full-time job.
That's fair. That's fair. So I have carried that crown. I've taken the reins. And you know what? Those times were some good times.
Yeah,
you know what I
some good
mean?
times.
Like in Mortal Kombat 2.
Ooh, Mortal Kombat.
That was a good one.
Who was your favorite character on Mortal Kombat?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I think, on the first one, I really like Scorpion because Scorpion was the first fatality I figured out.
Get over here.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Get Over Here was really, really nice. It's very like ASMR nostalgic to my ears. It feels great. But yeah, Upstart, that was his finisher. And he was like, takes out the mask.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And I was like, how did I do this?
Do you remember that? Didn't they have like codes in the beginning, like up, up, down, down, right, left, like those things on the...
Yeah, A, B, A, C, A, B.
Yeah.
I wanted to get that tattooed on me. And so so how that, dude, I'm going to throw it out. So how that happened, so Mortal Kombat was the game that came out and like parents were like floored by it. That's where the, ESRB ratings came into play. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know that?
Oh, yeah.
Or that it's like teen, like adult, things like that.
Right.
So when Mortal Kombat came out and it didn't have any ratings, people were just getting it, thinking it was just, cool for kids. And then kids are playing it and then there's all this blood and they're like, what the fuck, dude? There's a warning. And so that's where the warnings or the ratings started coming out. And so the Genesis version of Mortal Kombat, when that one came out, that didn't have the blood as like the default. So you had to put in the code ABACABB to unlock the blood.
That's crazy. Like, I don't remember it being like that. I just remember doing the up, down, AB, that stuff. I didn't know it was directly for that. And maybe I did when we were younger, but I don't remember it being that way. That's crazy.
Well, maybe you played a different version. Or maybe it could be a different code that you're thinking of.
No, that's the one you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and there was one for Contra as well.
Contra was not my thing.
Why?
You liked Contra?
Yeah, I loved Contra. I would still play Contra to this day.
I had Contra at Hardcore, so that was like, so good. But the Contra, are you talking about Contra on the NES?
I don't know, just Contra, like the old school ones. I don't even know. I know she's about to call me out right now. But no, I can't remember what system it was on. But I can remember I can see it vividly in my head. That one? Remember that? Okay. Yeah.
I think it could be either one. You know what I mean? Because all games I feel have like that 16-bit or 2-bit music where it's like that should be a song, actually. I just made that up. That sounds like it should belong on Nintendo.
Done.
You're welcome.
So, but what do you remember about those days when we were playing Mario 3?
I remember Mario, specifically Underwear Powers Activate. Do you remember that?
Underwear Powers?
Yeah, Underwear Powers Activate. So like specifically Mario Party 2, camera here, camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. All of you guys listen up, okay? So Mario Party 2, I kid you fucking not. Anytime I went on a Bowser space, I don't know what came over me, but I was like, let's just put some underwear on my head. And so I put underwear on my head and then I'd be like, underwear powers activate. So stupid. Just
why do I not remember this?
And Bowser would leave me the fuck alone every fucking time.
What?
I swear my underwear powers activate, dude. I mean, I don't. I'm still not.
I was gonna say, that would be hilarious if you did that.
No, I can't do that. No. I mean, I should, because I'm getting fucked over by some Bowser, and it is not good. Like chance time, not good. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, chance time. Okay, yeah. I don't know why I was
getting screwed over on chance time.
Yeah. Well, what else do you remember?
That was a dark moment. I liked Mario Kart 64. That was a good one. Candy games were fun too.
Candy games.
You fib. You remember candy games.
Well, what kind of?
Where it was like, so we would play like Star Fox 64.
Oh yeah, okay.
Or like, yeah.
Girl, you gotta just tell. You just with me because it's been a long time since I played those games. You just need to tell me the names. Don't be saying candy games.
My bad. You would bet however many candies. You'd have to bet at least one candy to play.
That's where the M&Ms came into play. Yeah, because we played Star Fox with Dad too.
But I thought they were wrapped candies. I don't remember.
They're M&Ms too.
But did we have like the pouches, the M&M pouches?
No, they're all
or just like one. Oh, the bowl of death M&Ms. I hated those.
Why?
Because like it came with a little bit of happiness, a lot of want, and a little bit of like temptation, and a little bit of like, you know, if you're going to do that, Dad's going to find out because he already counted like these 50 million times. And if you ate one, he would find out and everyone would get in trouble.
Yeah, but like when we used them to play the games with, that was fun.
I don't remember that specifically.
Oh, I do.
I remember the wrapped candies.
I remember wrapped candies too, but I more specifically remember the M&Ms. Yeah, we would do sometimes peanut M&Ms, peanut butter M&Ms, and the plain ones, but mostly peanut butter, not peanut butter, peanut. And those ones are like those peanuts. Salt peanuts.
I was going to say the same thing.
Really? Cable Guy.
Oh, I love Cable Guy. So good. Such a show before its time. Cable Guy is great. If you haven't seen it, you really do need to watch it.
Agreed.
It's probably created for this time. And this movie made back in like the 90s. It was great. You need dark humor, and I feel we're all there.
So back to the games.
No, I want to talk about anime now. How come you don't watch anime?
I'm just not really interested. I haven't really. I mean, I would give most things a chance, but I don't. Where my time is limited, I like to stay. I don't know. Just where my time's limited, I spend my time doing things that I know that I want to do right now or want to watch. Because it's just, like I said, my time's limited.
So why don't you give it a chance?
Because I don't want to right now. I don't have the time to.
Are you ever going to?
I don't know, maybe. And who knows, maybe my kids might like it. I mean, I wouldn't not give it a chance. But I just haven't really ever thought about it that much.
Ask me why I like anime.
Why do you like anime?
Because I've thought about this answer for a long time, and I feel like this is going to touch so many souls.
Okay.
I don't know. I just like what I like. You know what I'm saying? It's great. But honestly, like, if we think about it, right? Like, anime, there's like statistics that back this shit up, right? Like, people who watch anime has like some of the highest intelligence. Not only that, I feel like they are more in touch with reality. For my Naruto people there, right? That was a pretty good.
Okay.
I wish you were a nerd like me.
I'm a nerd in my own way.
Fine. But I like it specifically because it does open my mind to other perspectives. Like, if you can get past the voices, because the voices can be a little interesting, right?
Okay.
But if you can get past the voices, and I would say if you can get past like the animation and sometimes the way far-fetched animation things,
Okay.
you are in for a fucking treat. Some of the best stories that I have ever listened to, watched, like things like that, it's just anime. Anime gets it where America doesn't, you know? Like, some of the darkest and best stories. Some of the things that are happening today that if like people would just watch anime and learn from anime, we would probably be in a better state, if I'm being honest.
Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying.
Thank you, anime. You have changed so many lives. Anime is amazing for the world.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, that's always been your thing. Well, William likes that stuff too, huh? Is Dragon Ball Z considered anime? Okay. Yeah, but he doesn't. I mean, I know he's a nerd about that stuff too, but I don't think he is as nerded out on it as you are.
Honestly, I don't know. I think him and I are probably about the same, if I'm being honest. I'm just probably more vocal about it and more like
Okay.
rooted into it. But I also don't have as many responsibilities as William does, so I have more time where I could spend on that. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So I'll give it that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my thoughts.
What was your favorite video game when we were growing up?
Super Mario Bros. 3.
I know that was a good one. That's hard because I loved Mario 2 as well.
That was an interesting game.
I never beat that game, by the way.
No, I don't know. No.
I'm kind of mad about it. Like, that's kind of one of my bucket list items is that I need to beat that game one day.
You know, I have a NES Classic that you could borrow, and that allows you to save, and that has Mario 2 on it.
See, that back in the day,
You have to play it from start to finish. Like, no warps, no cheats.
there's warps.
In Mario 2, yes.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that now. It's been a minute. I just always play Peach. Princess Peach.
Peach sucks.
I love Peach.
I don't like Peach. Honestly, some of the best Mario games are where Peach is a playable character, meaning you don't have to save Peach. I've been saving her since I've been in the ball sack. I'm over saving Peach. Honestly, Peach, if you are listening, stop getting kidnapped. I'm over it.
Well,
I'm honestly
in the Mario movie, she didn't. She was a badass in the Mario movie.
that doesn't count.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't count. It's a different universe. In the games, Peach, you're weak. I said it.
I love Peach. I don't know. You know me. I'm such a girly girl anyway, so.
I mean, Peach is great in the games that you can play her as. Because, like, don't get me wrong. Yeah, in Mario 2, she's probably the best character to play.
Well,
she
yeah,
can float.
she can float, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what her and Luigi, because Luigi does that little thing with his feet.
Yeah,
But hers is easier to control.
yeah, because she can float. Like, that is great. And so when she's a playable character, like, she is a badass. But how many times has she been a playable character? Twice. Out of how many games?
All right.
Am I saving that, girl? I'm over it. You know what I mean? I'm over it. Peach.
Stop
Goodness.
dissing my Peach.
I don't know. I'm sorry. It's just a lot of deep-rooted trauma over there. It's a lot.
So, but no, I really love that game. And Mario 3, that one, I have the most nostalgic memories from that one. Yeah, those were some good times. Some good times.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Change the subject. How do you feel about our dynamic? You being the oldest sister and then me being the youngest sister. What do you think has been challenging about our dynamic, and what do you think has been unique?
I mean, our dynamic is I don't want to say interesting because it's not. It's just we're sisters, you know? We're sisters. But girl, when we were growing up, you were as just annoying as hell. Drove me crazy because I felt like all you wanted was attention. And wait, am I right about this? You're smiling.
I don't know, but I really enjoyed annoying you guys.
I know you did, and I hated that. I hated that so much. Like, literally, you would be like, Kandyce, Kandyce. And if you're listening right now and not watching, she literally would, like, just poke at you and just be like, Kandyce. I'm like, please stop. Like, to the point where, like, we would explode. Like, Latoya and I would explode on her. But she just thought it was the most hilarious thing. She would stand in front of the TV and just were like, Sher'l, excuse us. And she would just sit there and just do her thing and dance and chase us around with baseball bats. Well, like the styrofoam ones, or the foamy ones.
I don't remember that.
Oh, I do remember that, girl. And I remember when I was developing boobies and you were trying to hit me in the boobs. Girl,
I mean, that
That
definitely sounds like
sucked.
something I would do.
that sucked.
I'm sure that did suck.
But honestly, I didn't think we were going to be as close as we are now when we were growing up because you got on my damn nerves.
I remember, it was one of the times where our relatives from California came down to visit, and we lived at the house. Anyway, across the street from the park. And you guys were like all the cousins, and you guys were hanging out, and William was like really young, and I feel I was young. I was still young to where like I wasn't really old enough to fit in with you guys, but like I was still like aware enough to know that like I didn't really have a place, so I was trying to like edge my way in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I cried, and I cried a lot.
Oh.
But then you guys thought that because my eyes were so red, do you remember that? And I was like possessed by the devil, and I played off that so hard.
I did not remember.
It was so fucking funny, dude. And it was with the upstairs. It was when the upstairs bathroom, the light, one of the light bulbs were off, was burnt out, so it was dimmer. And then I put soapy water, and it was more soap than water, right, over the bathroom, and I was like, I will kill you because the devil told me so. And then
Girl,
you guys read it.
shit.
Yes, and you guys read it, and my eyes were red from like just crying so hard, and you guys freaked the fuck out, and I was like, yes.
I don't remember that at all. But it does sound like something you would have done back then.
Honestly, thinking back about it, like, nah, it's pretty fucked up. But also, that's hilarious. I got you guys good. And then you guys woke up the parents, and they're like, Sher'l, knock that shit off. And I was like, okay.
That's funny. You know what that reminds me of? What is Happy Gilmore when he says, what does he say? You gonna give that shit up and you gonna play golf or whatever he said.
Yeah.
Or are you gonna concentrate on golf? Something like that. When he was trying to be a hockey player.
That was a good one.
I love that movie.
I know. That was a good one.
Yeah, that's like one of my go-to movies when I need a little bit of nostalgia. I love that movie. That and Billy Madison.
Billy Madison just reminds me of getting my ass whooped when I was younger.
Oh, that's sad.
Because we watched it after, I think Dad found one of my diaries, and I was talking about adult activities in my diaries. I don't know. I was a horny little kid. I don't understand why I was, but like, hey, that passcode 0202, parents, you know what that means.
Oh.
Do you not know what that means? You don't know 0202?
Was that the password?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I don't remember it.
DirecTV was either 0202 or 2020.
Oh my goodness. That's crazy that you remember that.
Heck yeah, if I want to watch my porn.
At that age?
Well, hey, listen.
How old were you when you first watched that stuff?
I mean, I was pretty young, but like
what? Like when you say young, like what kind of age are you telling?
like parents were still together at that point, so I had to have been.
So they divorced when I was
11.
Oh dang!
So yeah,
So sad.
but like to be fair, I didn't know what I was doing. I really do feel there was a lot of innocence behind it.
Well,
'Cause, like I
yeah.
didn't know, and I
But
didn't
still.
even see what I was looking at. But it was more of like, you can't do this. You should not. And the fact that people made such a big deal about me not wanting to do it, and you know,
do it
I'm
more.
the rebellion. Of course, I'm going to do what I'm not supposed to do.
Right.
And I figured it out, and I was like, this is it? Hell yeah. I didn't know what I was watching. I don't know what I was doing. But the fact that, you know, I shouldn't be doing it, it felt cool. So let that be a lesson, peeps. Reverse psychology works.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy though. That's sad. But yeah, anyway, back to your question. I don't know. There's a lot, like this is a hard question because there's a lot of parts to our dynamic, you know? Like I understand you a lot more now that we're adults and stuff, you know, and I'm realizing as I continue to get older that, you know, you had your own traumas that you were dealing with and that, you know, made you, you know, who you've become today and, you know, the wonderful person that you are. And I don't know, we're very different in how we approach things. Like I'm very, I would say I'm very cleanly. You're more messy. Like you just don't care. I don't want to say nasty, dirty or anything, but like you just like if something's on the floor and you're like, and then I'm like, oh, something's on the floor, I gotta pick it up, very, very much. I have, I work by structure, and I think a lot of that came from when, just some of the things that Dad would do when we were punished, or when he would punish us or put us on restriction or whatnot, and there was this tendency where everything had to be perfect, and just when we would do chores or when we would do yard work, the times when he was like, when you sweep that grass off the floor, I don't want to see one strand of grass. Like, and I took that shit literally. And like, let's be real. You can't really possibly, and I mean, maybe if you have like one of those, like, those leaf blowers, but we didn't have that. We were poor,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't, I mean, yeah, there was a lot of things that we didn't have, and like having a leaf blower was not one of them. So I just got scared all the time, and it just kind of, it built up a lot of anxiety in me. Whereas I think you've always just been who you are. And I think that's cool. You've always been who you are. And I mean, I've always been who I am too, but in a way, like, you've always been your authentic self. I haven't ever, well, back then I didn't feel I could be my authentic self because I didn't think that was something that I could do because I thought I would get in trouble for it.
No, that makes sense. I think going back to my question that I asked you, I mean, everyone with siblings, right? Or like only children or whatever. I feel family dynamic relationships are interesting in their own way. I feel ours is interesting just because I am the youngest sibling, and sometimes in a way I kind of feel like you're opposite, where you feel like very structured. I hate structure. I don't like routine. I don't like the same things. And like in those types of ways, I feel we are opposite in a way. I feel like we do challenge each other.
Right.
And we are kind of two opposites of, not
a magnet,
opposites, but like
we kind of like, we don't come to, I mean, we come together a lot, but like we almost like have this force that like makes us, what's the word that I'm looking for?
I will say, and this could be my notes talking, but I will say that magnet, it could repel us if we work against it, but it can, if we embrace it, it can bring us together.
Oh, for sure.
A bigger force.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel a lot of times it's natural for us to just rebel.
You and I?
Yeah. Because I know I piss you the fuck off, and I know you piss me the fuck off.
Yeah. You do.
But sometimes I feel like it's things that like I need to hear, and it's perspective that I need to know.
Well, and I think I could say the same for you, for me. Like some of the things you say, like sometimes you're just so direct, and while I'm such a sensitive person and that shit hurts my feelings sometimes, like it's kind of helped me understand that that's kind of more what the world is like. A lot more people in the world, and just in general, experiences are going to be very more direct, and you can't take things as personal, and it's not necessarily you're being, rude. It's just who you are. So, and that's something that I still continue to learn, because you know how sensitive I am, but I've grown a lot, especially being in a career right now where I'm in HR, where I have to more or less make sure people are following the rules at all times, and I have to be serious, and I have to, put boundaries down. And whereas say maybe 5-10 years ago, I would have been way more afraid to say, can you please not do that? As opposed to please don't do that. Just little things like that.
Yeah, for sure. And you're like finding your confidence in ways that you can.
Yeah. I think theater helped me a lot with that.
Oh, jeez.
We'll talk about it a lot. I'll leave that to LaToya and me. But no, I really think theater helped me a lot with that as well. Because I know people are like, you don't seem shy. I'm like, yeah, when you get to know me, I'm not. But when you don't really know me, I'm like, I don't know. I'm a Capricorn. People say I have resting bitch face. So, and I probably do. But I'm really, really nice.
Yeah.
What does that look?
I mean, I'm just listening. I think it's great. But I do want to say, when you say that you're sensitive, and I know we give you shit about being sensitive, but don't, like, in the grand scheme of things, I really don't think you're sensitive. I think everyone is sensitive in their own ways. Like, people care about what they care about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's not okay to place, like, a sensitive label things on something that someone's passionate about, unless you're doing it in, like, a fun way, like I do. So I don't want you to ever, like, when I say you're sensitive, I don't ever mean that in a malicious way.
I know that now. I would say a while ago, no, I wouldn't have felt that way. I thought you were, it was one of your digs. But now I honestly embrace my sensitivity more. I mean, there's sometimes I'm like, I wish I could be a little bit less sensitive in certain situations, but that's just who I am. And I've learned to embrace my sensitivity because it really is what makes me who I am. I feel things very deeply. And I would, a lot of people will say, you're very empathic. I feel people's feelings. I can feel a shift in a room when people come in. Like, I can tell when something's off. I've always been like that. It's just weird. Not weird, but, it's just who I am.
Yeah. And it could be with our upbringing, too.
Yeah, definitely. I believe that.
Allows a lot more of, like, feel your emotions, live your emotions type thing. And Dad's more of, like,
suck it up.
Bear those feelings deep within type thing.
We're Camerons. We don't cry. We don't do this. We don't do that.
Yeah.
We don't show we're weak.
Yeah. And it's not that I, like, bury my feelings. I do feel my feelings, but I definitely do feel I fight the feelings before I feel what I feel.
I feel like you have your feelings, but you do it more in private. Do you know what I mean?
Girlie, I feel like I'm really immature and I typically vent on social media.
But that comes off as, like, joking, really. Like, when I see your stuff online, to me, it comes off as if you're joking.
That's good.
So, but that's just me. I don't know about what do y'all think. Follow her on the socials.
That's good. I mean, before I take it to social media, I do think for quite a while. I do, like, think about it, because typically if I take it to social media, that means we're done, son. No more, no going back. We're done.
She's serious. Do you remember that guy? I don't remember who it was, but he sent you a dick pic.
The one that I thought looked like a Tootsie Roll. Oh my god.
And I remember you blasted him online so bad. Like, I was dying. I was like, do not mess with my sister Sher'l, because, like, don't send her stuff that she doesn't consent to, because she will put you on blast.
Like,
and, like, she put it, well, did you put it on Facebook?
Yes. So I took a screenshot of it.
Did they?
Yeah. So, oh my god.
I can't remember if Facebook censored that back then.
No, Facebook didn't, because you couldn't tell what it was unless you actually, like, looked at it, because it looked like a white hand was holding this brown thing, and I was like, what is? And honest to God, for a second I thought it was a Tootsie Roll, and I was at work and I didn't want to open it in case it was a dick pic, and then I examined it for a little bit, and then I turned over to my neighbor and I was like, Psst. Is this like a dick? And they're like, dude, yes. And I was like, but this kind of looks like a Tootsie Roll, right? Like a chewed up Tootsie Roll? I do, bro. Like,
oh my God.
I don't understand what dudes are thinking. Like, please, for the love of God, I am begging you, do not. Stop sending your dick pics. No one wants to see it.
I mean, facts.
Like, the day I send my stuff, the day you can send your stuff. But spoiler alert, you'll never see my stuff. I'm just saying. Anyway, so.
But yeah, I always tell people that story. And I have people that I work with are like, I'm scared of her. I'm like, you should be.
Yeah, it's your stuff. And then, like, I tagged him in it and he kept, like, untagging
Yes.
him. And then, like,
and other people
was tagging him. And then other people was tagging his, like, parents. And then his grandparents. And
are you
like,
serious? I didn't know it went that far.
Yeah, dude. Like,
I do remember there was a guy that's, and maybe, I don't know, I feel like, maybe I made this up in my head. I don't know. But I feel like I remember someone that said, oh my gosh, this guy sent the same picture to my wife.
yes.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
I was like, ooh. Ooh.
Disgusting. I don't understand people.
So that's another conversation. Why is he sending dick pics to your wife? I mean, that's another conversation.
Yeah, but also too, like, people just send things and they have, like, no.
But how would she know him?
I did same situation. I didn't know him at all.
But you knew him from, how did you meet him? Not meet him, but
I mean,
Tinder?
Facebook friends.
Oh, Facebook friends?
I mean, I had to either send a request or he had to accept.
Okay, that makes sense.
For a hot while there, I was just accepting everyone for a long time.
Okay, no, that makes sense.
I wanted to have friends. So
I
fuck
get
you
that.
guys. Anyway.
No, I get that. So that makes sense for maybe she was in the same situation. She was like, why not? Let me just add another friend. Or I was thinking your situation was you met them, you matched with them on like Tinder or something.
No. Thank God, no. I don't think I've ever met anyone from Tinder that gave me a dick pic. I did, awkward situation though. So I met someone on Tinder. His name is Topher. And he was so cute. He was like tatted and all that good shit, right? But he, compared to me, right? I would say I'm a little bit thicker, right? But like compared to me, I would say he's like a pinky. And there's nothing wrong with a pinky compared to someone who's like thick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thick.
Like you need some milk. It's thick. You know what I'm saying? You need milk to swallow that down. It's so thick.
Oh my gosh, Mom. Sorry.
No, I'm just drawing a bit.
I know.
Not like that. Jeez.
Because you know Mom's already Sher'l.
Mom, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just thinking about like some thick ass chocolate cake and swallow that down with some milk. I'm talking about that thick. Anyway. So he like came over and I was like, dude, let's play some Mario Party. And he's like, done. And I'm like, bring your Switch, bitch. And so we play Mario Party. And then he was like coming on to me and he was like trying to kiss me and stuff like that. And I was like, what? And then like shoved the tongue down. I was like, what? And then he tried to like manhandle me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what you think you gonna do? A stick like you trying to handle a thick bitch like me. What do you think you gonna do? He maybe pushed me back a centimeter. What are we doing? I don't even know how I got on this topic.
I don't know either. Oh, no, because we were talking, I don't remember why we were talking about it, but we were talking about the Facebook and the dick pic that guy sent.
Oh.
That's how, I know that's,
I don't know the correlation, but that was so.
I'm sure there was once we hear this back and be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but I feel like you have your experiences too.
With what?
With just the Utah dating pool in general.
Honestly, someone that I matched with on Tinder at one point said, and I've kind of stolen this phrase, but it's pee-pee water out there right now. It's pee-pee water.
Oh.
I mean, I don't want to sit there and say there's no good guys out there because, you know, that's a lie. I know there's good guys out there, but I'm having a hard time finding them. And, you know, having a hard time finding people that have similar values or, you know, similar intentions. You know, a lot of the guys, you know, they sit there and they say that they want to date with intention and, you know, to have a long lasting relationship. But really then they turn around, they're like, well, I just want my freedom. Like, well, dude, nobody said you couldn't have your freedom. But also it's like, don't sit there and tell me what I want to hear and then screw me over and making me feel like I'm the crazy person because I thought we were on the same page. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, the dating pool right now is pee-pee water. So, but it's crazy though. Utah, I don't really get a lot of attention here. Like, I feel like people don't really notice me, like guys. And if they do, they're not speaking up.
I think that's so interesting. I don't know. I mean, I can get where you're coming from to an extent because I feel like whenever I start getting serious about someone, that's when everyone's like, oh man, like I should have shot my shot.
Yes, that is a real thing.
Yeah. And it's like, well, then maybe I fucking should have. Like, that's not my fault you're a pussy, dude. And that's maybe the wrong word of choice. I'm sorry for you feminists. It's not my fault you're a dick. You know, whichever you want to go with. You know what I mean? Like, don't be a bitch. Like, either shoot your shot or don't.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and that's the thing is I feel like a lot of people sit there and say that they're all about, you know, I'm straightforward, I'm direct. And then when, at least in my experience with men that I've dated, they're like, yeah, I want, you know, you to be straight with me and direct. And as soon as I'm direct and straight with them, they're like, skirt. I'm like, and for a long time, I used to feel like it was something that I was doing. But I'm like, no, they're just, I don't really know what to say on that, but they're just not matching what I'm matching or matching what I'm putting out there. And being married twice, I'm like, I can't do that again.
Yeah.
I can't do that again.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about you?
I don't know. I think I understand that, it's terrible as far as dating, right? But I just want to have fun. And fun to me doesn't necessarily mean like, let's get down and dirty. That's definitely not what I'm talking about type thing. But like, I just want to have like fun vibes. Like, let's go play video games. Let's go to corners.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That
like,
would be fun.
I want to watch cartoons. I want to watch Dragon Ball Z. Let's learn about like Attack on Titan. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do that. Let's play virtual reality.
Right.
I love that stuff. And like, no pressure. I don't really like to go out on dates. Sometimes people will call. I don't like calling dates. I like to hang out, and to me the difference between like a date is like the dude primarily like
Courts you?
yeah, and I don't want that, because I feel I have to be a different version of myself that I'm just not comfortable with, and I'm never like that, and I don't want them to get the impression that I'm this person going forward. I just want to be like me.
Why don't you just be yourself in the beginning anyway?
Yeah, because you're not going to go around to a store and be like, what's up, cunt? What's up, fucker?
I mean, yeah, there's you kind of ease people into that side of I feel like we all do it. We all ease people into our goofy sides. I know I do. Like I'm not being fake or anything, but you kind of just fill people out until you kind of realize, oh, we have the same humor. Okay, let's go.
And I understand that. I definitely do. I think I'm just kind of maybe in a place where like I just don't really want to take accountability for other people's emotions or feelings. Like, I know my intention. I'm not trying to be rude, and if you understand my intention as me being an ass, then fine. We're not gonna be friends, or we're gonna go like the other way. But I just don't want to waste my time easing someone into my personality, knowing that there's a possibility that they're just gonna skirt anyway. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, that's
so fair. I just much rather be myself, and if they like it, fuck yeah, like let's go. But if we don't like it, or if they don't like it, then cool. We didn't waste our time.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's just kind of how I am. But I know, because I've kind of taken that stance, I am like too much sometimes for people. But people,
you're enough. Yeah, you're enough for the right people.
Yeah. I agree.
So.
And I agree.
Yeah, dating sucks.
Dating does suck.
And honestly, I never thought I'd be the age I am and back in the dating world, but it is what it is, and I'd rather be single than unhappy, so hallelujah for that. But yeah, it's sometimes you want to have some company, have someone to share your time with. And
yeah, I mean, it's natural. I feel like humans are humans, and humans just naturally crave companionship. I don't think humans are created to be alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, it'd be nice, like you were saying, watch cartoons. And I mean, I'm not really watching cartoons that much as in my adult years, unless it's like Disney stuff with my kids. But yeah, watching our favorite show or playing. I still like playing video games when I get a chance. Throw down some Mario Kart or some Mortal Kombat. I'm down. So, but yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But it's hard to find that.
Yeah, but I think to your point, kind of, you're saying, you don't want to, for lack of a better word, you don't want to be fake at all. Like, you want to always be yourself. And I think that's awesome. Whereas a lot of people will show you what they think you want to see. And then all of a sudden, 2 years, 3 years down the line, all of a sudden this stranger comes out of nowhere and you're like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah. Like, I wish people would just understand. It's okay. Like, it's okay. Just be yourself. If you're going to be a snake, be a snake. And at least, but like give the person the opportunity like to see who you are for who you are, and then allow them to make that decision.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
So like that way, if someone fucks someone over, you can't come back and be like, have you seen that show Fuckboy Island?
No, never heard of that.
Dude, you need to watch it. It is hilarious. Spoiler alert. Actually, I can't spoil it for you yet because you don't even know what the hell it's about. So there are these 3 women. And season 2 is a little bit different, but season 1 there are these 3 women who are dating I want to say like 24 guys, and half of them consider themselves good guys and half of them consider themselves bad guys. And the good guys are in for all the right reasons. The bad guys are obviously in for like the selfish reasons. And so the winners, basically the couples at the end, because they eliminate the girls eliminate the dudes week by week, but the winners at the end. So if the chick picks a good guy, then the chick will keep the $10,000, and she decides if she wants to, is it $10,000? I don't know. It's something in the thousands, right? And they can decide if they want to keep the money for themselves or if they want to split the money with the guy, and then they can continue their relationship as a couple. If they decide that they want to pursue a bad guy, then and establish a relationship with the bad guy, then that puts the power in the dude's hands, and they decide that if they want to keep the money or if they want to continue the relationship with the chick. Anyway, long story short, poor Sarah. And I know Sarah's getting a lot of shit. So the twist, like the mid twist of the show, was all the guys had to reveal if they were a good guy or if they were a bad guy. And so all the girls typically had a few different guys that they liked, and some were good guys and some were bad guys, right? And of course, all the bad guys say that they're good guys, and all the good guys obviously say that they're good guys, which is fine. So anyway, and so this girl, Sarah, she picked the bad guy. And I think it was, the experiment was more of like, do girls really chase after the bad guy versus like the good guy, right?
Right.
And anyway, and of course that just showed all the negative stereotypes, and it's so frustrating. And she picked the bad guy, and of course everyone just wants to get mad at him because he's the asshole. But then, and I was irritated for her too, but then he's like, I mean, you know who I was when I told you who I was, and you decided to pursue me. And then I was like,
Yeah.
that did give like a completely different perspective.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
You have to take responsibility for your own.
Exactly. So like, is he really in the wrong here? Like, he's just doing what he said.
Is.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just my thing. Like, if you're an asshole, fine, be an asshole. But like, at least I know that you're an asshole, and I'm making the decision of being with an asshole or bouncing. And definitely I'm going to bounce. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
At that point, I can respect you. You didn't waste my time. I didn't waste my time. Like, let's go.
Right. Agreed. Dang.
Spitting knowledge. You need to watch that show. That show's so fucking funny.
Where is it streaming?
HBO Max. Well, Max now.
Okay, I'll check it out when I don't have the kids, because it sounds like it's a lot.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, that's dating in a nutshell.
So what do you think about our dynamic? And you being the youngest and me the oldest.
I feel, I definitely feel we complement each other, and I feel we are each other's opposites in the appropriate ways. I feel because we're more with each other doing this, right? We are learning more about each other, and things that I just kind of assume that you know about me because you're my sister. Like, I put a lot of expectations on you and LaToya, even William, being my siblings, just because I assume that you guys know my intentions. And so I'll tell you my goal, and then I just kind of assume that you'll fill in the gaps, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And just kind of assume that anything that could come across negatively, I don't mean, and just ex-nay that. And anything that comes across positively, or it could come across positively, that's most likely what I mean. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so you challenge me because you don't do that. And you need me to vocalize what I'm trying to say. And that pisses me off.
Because you don't want to explain yourself, do you?
No. And it's not necessarily because I don't want to explain myself. It's just because, like, I don't feel I can explain the intentions correctly to the point where you can understand what I'm saying.
Well, why not try,
Yeah.
I mean, you do now. You do a lot better now, which I appreciate because, you know me, my mind, I need things to be clear. And also just, I don't know if I ever told you this, but growing up with our dad and how I just felt like, I mean, a typical Black family where it's, do as I say, well, not do as I say, not as I do, but there was a lot of that in the house. Very much like what goes on in this house stays in this house. Adults are speaking, children are to be seen, not heard, that sort of thing.
Spoken or talked when spoken to or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. And I think...
Speak when spoken to, there we go.
Yes. I took that a lot to heart, and I feel like as an adult, I'm reprogramming myself and teaching myself how to recommunicate. So I think a lot of, and this could be totally bogus, but, it's just my experience. But, growing up feeling like I didn't really have a voice, and now that I do, because I am grown and, I can do what I want because I'm an adult, it's hard to, I think I'm catching up on some of the things of like communicating with other people and expressing myself, because I never really got a chance to do that growing up because Dad was like, nope, you don't get to say. You don't get to say. So, and I think that kind of caters to why I need people to explain to me more things, because I don't feel like I understood a lot of that back then, and I'm programming myself to understand it now.
Yeah. And that makes sense. And, just kind of, I don't know, just the more, I don't know, it did kind of make me think, because in a way, I kind of feel like I'm the same. 'Cause a lot of times I just don't understand why people do things the way they do. Like sometimes I understand when we talk about it, like when we talk about things reflecting on the experience, why sometimes you have a hard time communicating your feelings. But in the moment, I don't understand why you don't communicate that. Because to me, I'm like, I don't understand why she's living in her own personal hell. Why can't she just voice what she's feeling so we can figure out a solution and move forward so she can get out of that hell?
I can give you an answer to that, actually, because it's interesting, because I've been going to therapy for a long time, and my therapist told me it's kind of like, because obviously what you're saying is like the logical thing to do. It's the logical thing to do. Like someone's telling you, tell me how you're feeling, let's work this out. And then the other person's just like, nope, I'm fine, and just kind of cuts off and shuts down. But it's called, what does she call it? It's called the window of tolerance. So me personally, and I think a lot of people, anytime I'm outside of my window of tolerance, so a window of tolerance is like, where you're normal, you're just who you are, your comfortable self, and like you feel it most at peace there. But when you're outside of it, whether you get anxious or angry or whatever that is, whatever that looks like to the individual, for me personally, nothing makes any sense to me. Like everything that's rational becomes irrational. Even though I know in my brain, I'm like, that's the most logical thing to do right now. But my mind's like, almost like, nope, we're not doing this right now. It's like a physical reaction in my body almost. And so I sometimes need time to process so that I can come back and not be a bitch about things, because I totally can do that. And I can come across as if, I just know myself. I know myself well enough to know that if I'm being pushed to continue to talk when I'm not ready, I'm just going to start shouting off just things I might regret, and I don't want to do that.
I appreciate you sharing that. I really did not know. I always thought it was more of like you didn't trust like, for example, when we had our conversation the other night, I took it as like you didn't trust me to care enough about your feelings in that state, so you didn't even want to like open up that can of worms.
No, it's I was outside of my window of tolerance, and like I said, everything logical at that point then becomes illogical or irrational, whatever you want to call it, and it's hard to kind of get back to a normal state when my body's more or less in fight or flight.
Like you're kind of in a crisis mode and you have to just get through it.
And that's honestly where a lot of I feel like I've lived my life a lot in fight or flight. And I think that's another thing that I'm trying to rewire my brain to not do, because I'm anxious. And like, I feel like as I get older, I continue to get more anxious, and it's the weirdest thing. But yeah, I just think I just lost my train of thought.
I feel we are so similar in ways that we don't even realize, because I feel like I'm constantly in survival mode, which I feel would also be equivalent to fight or flight.
Absolutely.
And there was this guy that I was dating a while ago, and he was like, you are consistently in survival mode, and like, I need you to not. And even though I live my life I would perceive it to be very carefree, I feel at times I'll allow my life to get in like survival situations, like my procrastinating and things like that, because I can work well off of that like survival pressure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
no, for sure. And like, I can too, but I don't like sitting there. It's just I don't like it. And while I can still get a lot done, because I know, hey, there's a deadline, say something's due tomorrow, and I'm like, hey, crap, I got to get this done right now. I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to feel good about it. Whereas I know that if I take my time and I kind of, put a little timeline on, this part of the project is due or this part of the project is due, then it just makes me feel more at ease and more inside my window of tolerance.
I respect you so much more.
Oh,
I just want to tear for you. Not tear for you, but like tear for how much like I feel we're so much alike. And I hate being fucking
well, this is cool. I'm glad that
I love
able to
these
share
conversations.
this. Yeah, that's cool. That it'd be cool to hear Toy's perspective on all this too.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm fucking saying. Like, that's why it would be cool to have, like, you know what I mean? Because I know, like, I feel like when I'm with you two are such, like, a huge dynamic powerhouse that if I need to be seen, I have to, like, match your guys' energies together.
That makes me sad that you feel that way.
No, I don't mean it in a bad way. So, like, it's just you guys are so powerful together.
And so are you.
Yeah, I know. I'm a powerhouse on my own because I have to be to match you guys.
Wow.
Like,
I feel like the three of us together are a powerhouse. I feel like the four of us as siblings are powerhouses together. I mean, we've been through a lot together.
Yeah, I would say together, definitely, for sure. But I would say even within a tight-knit group or family, whatnot, you still have your individual dynamics.
Yes, for sure.
Like, your powerhouses, and you still have your subs. And I would say I'm definitely a sub for sure.
I don't think so. I don't feel that way.
I'm an alpha in my own way, but I would say in our total dynamic, like, I default to you. I default to LaToya, and we both default to you. And William defaults to,
I don't know. I see that in some ways.
Are you fucking kidding me?
In some ways, but like you guys are your own person. Y'all do whatever the hell you want. I love that.
But whenever like you see when we play video games, I'll like reach out to that one night. You remember that night I was talking about, and I called you up, dude. I called you up, and everyone's like, "No, I'm good. Abby and I need to go to work tomorrow. I need to do some shit tomorrow. I'm good." And then here comes Kandyce. She like cracks her fingers so she could do the almighty texting. send. And everyone's like, yes, let's go. Kandyce is, let's go. And I'm like, round up the troops. Round up
That's
the
funny.
troops. But like, you do that because you have that, like you're just the oldest, you know what I mean? And that's who you have to be with us.
I mean, I think it's kind of a natural dynamic. The oldest kind of takes on a lot of the responsibility of a lot of things. And, you're the firstborn, and there's a lot more, well, I can't speak for you guys, but for me, I felt like I had a lot of pressure.
I understand that a little bit more because when I moved, when William and I moved, when I was 11, I don't remember how old William was, like 9 or whatever. I became the oldest, and that sucked ass.
Yeah, definitely has its benefits for sure, but it also has its doozies.
There's like no benefits to being the oldest. I don't know what benefits you're talking about. Those benefits I did not experience.
Well, I think I got to try out things first. Like I got to drive first, and I got to do things first that I was able to then kind of share my experience with you guys so that you guys could be eased into certain situations. I don't know. Does that make sense?
I don't feel, maybe with Latoya.
And probably because since when our parents did divorce and we were split, which still sucks to this day that we had that time gap that we can't ever get back. But we figured it out. But yeah, probably more me and Latoya because, we had to be because it was us. And then you guys were over there.
I never had that. I felt like William and I should have been tighter than what we were. And I'm not blaming him for any of that. I don't know why I felt like there was like a little bit of a gap between us. But I'm glad why that happened, I'm glad that went away because I definitely feel much closer to him than I did when we lived together. But
right,
the next sibling down was my stepsister, and it was like a battle with her. And like I definitely felt like, intentional or not, we were definitely pit against each other a lot. And it was exhausting.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So I don't know. I don't really feel like I ever really had like a sisterly bond with sisters like I should have, really until like we all started hanging out again. It was like before I moved out, I was just too young to like appreciate things, Yeah,
I think we all had those moments.
Yeah. But looking back, we had some dope ass times. Like I remember like watching scary movies through that like tiny ass little, I don't know how we did that.
I don't know either.
Through that fucking peephole.
Yep, of that camcorder. Yep. That big ass camcorder.
With the tiny ass screen. It was I kid you not, it was probably like that big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, it was all for the scary movies. We loved our scary movies.
I did.
And we couldn't hear sound, huh? So we just kind of...
No.
I think we pretended to be we narrated it.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what sounds we'd...
I just think we probably had seen it so many times we probably were just reciting, everything they were saying. Michael!
Michael!
No!
Dang, dude, Halloween Kills sucked ass.
That was a fun night, though, when we watched that.
Dude, I'm just so bummed that was Abby's first scary movie.
Hey,
honestly, showed her that?
I think it's hilarious, though. I just love that we just were laughing the whole time. That was funny.
Oh, jeez.
So.
It's pretty good.
Well.
I think we should call it. This is a good conversation.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, there's lots of stuff we could talk about. But
there's lots of things we could talk about.
But I think, let's just save those for some other episodes, because we got to keep them wanting to come to Sisters Unscripted.
My ear itches. Dude, it feels so good to just scratch those ears. Anyway, Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We definitely hope that you all find the positivities and the joys in life because, I mean, it sucks to suck, right? So don't be sucky.
She's so funny. You see how different we are, but yet how similar we are. But thank you so much for joining us today. If you're watching or if you're listening, we're super happy that you found us. If you are a newcomer, welcome. And if you're not, we're happy to have you again. If you do have any questions for us, you can email us on sistasunscripted@gmail.com, or you can find us on TikTok or IG. And I'm sure we'll have some more platforms soon. But as of right now, our handle is @sistasunscripted.
Sisters Unscripted. Sisters Unscripted. Sisters Unscripted. Sisters. That's not our theme song. That's not our theme song.
No. I can see LaToya's face right now being like, girl.
You ain't put my name on that shit.
Well, we'll see you next time.
Sisters out.